guys, the Curious Owl here, and today I am bringing you my September TBR. So if you guys had seen some of my little vlogs from the end of August going into my first week of school, you'll know that I kind of had some changes that I decided to do for my channel. I talked a little bit about it also in my August wrap up, but to give you guys kind of the lowdown of what's going on, I decided that I am going to stop making reviews for every single book I read on my channel. I really wanted to continue this trend, but I'm just finding that it's a lot harder for me right now, especially during the school year, to continue to do them, and I'm getting a little bit burnt out of doing the reviews. So I've limited it to 3 different categories of books, which are all important for me specifically. So the books that I will continue to review are those that are my random TBR picks for the month, books that I am sent but from companies that request reviews like Off Tones Publishing. I will have one this month that I will be planning to read for a review, and also any books that I am doing a reread series of. So that means my Beautiful Creatures series that I am still working on, I will be doing reviews for a set of novellas that are within the series, as well as the 2 spin-off novels that will be in this series. And then whatever reread series I decide to do next, I will read the books from that series and review them only with the other 2 categories of books. So this month I do plan on reading 12 books. Now that may seem like a lot, but this is actually not, because 2 of them are audiobooks, 2 of them are for reviews, so I just have to get them done before the end of the month. 5 of them actually are novellas, and then a couple others are just your basic standard novels that are basically being read for fun. So without further ado, I will get into them. Starting with my random TBR pick, so I have to go to Past Gabby in order to show you guys the TBR book for this month. Hey guys, so I am going to be drawing for my random TBR for the month, so I've got my list here. I've added in about 15 books that I've acquired so far over the course of the end of August into September, because I did some shopping for the Barnes & Noble book sale that was going on and bought several books on Amazon. 2 were books that I really wanted that both ended up being on sale for $2, which were The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli and The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, so I added those in. I've also added in an option to be able to read a book using my Overdrive, getting kind of more used to that throughout the year, and having my random TBR pick be a book that is available on audiobook through my library. So without further ado, I will get to drawing my pick for this month. The book is Blood Magic by Danielle Rose. So this is a sequel to a book that I read, I think either the end of last year or beginning of this year. I actually just bought this a couple days ago, so alright. It's an ebook. It's going to be really, really quick to read, because the first book that I read, when I read it, was really quick to read. It probably took me over the course of maybe 2 days to read it, maybe a day, I'm not quite sure, and I really, really enjoyed the story, and I really kind of wanted to see what happened right away, but I couldn't because I couldn't get the book. But I hope that I like the second one, because there is a 3rd and final story within this series that I would like to be able to read if I can, but I'm not going to get it unless I really, really like this sequel, and I feel like I want to be able to read the 3rd one. So yep, there we go. So Blood Magic it is. That will be my random TBR pick for the month, and I will bring it back to other Gabby to finish off this TBR video. The next book that I have just finished as of last night was Empress Unveiled by Jenna Moreland. As of now, this book has been released by Off Tones Publishing, but I wasn't able to get to it until like the day before it was released, because I had a lot of things come up that I didn't expect to come up, and I didn't have time to read it. I do like this book a lot. I will be coming out with a review of it shortly after this video goes out, I believe. Or maybe before, I'm not quite sure. You guys will see it obviously when it comes out, but I did enjoy this book a lot. I think that there are some things about it that I'm not so keen on, but overall I really, really enjoyed it. Speaking of Off Tones Publishing books, the next book that I'm going to be reading for September is a book that I am reading to review for Off Tones, and it is their final debut of 2018, and the book is called Saving Death by R.L. Dean. I don't really know what it's about. It's basically supposed to be, I think, a gothic romance, so I'm all for it. I'm super excited. I really do enjoy a lot of Off Tones Publishing's work, so I hope that this one's going to be good, but we will see. The next 5 books that I'm going to be reading are all novellas that I will be reading on my iPad, and they are novellas for the Beautiful Creatures series by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. So within the world of Beautiful Creatures, there are several novellas that take place in different points in time. So there was a novella that I had read in, I think, June, that was between books 2 and 3 that I read and reviewed, but Basically, there are 5 other novellas I have not read, one being the novella that happens after the 4th and final book in the series, and the other 4 being prequel novellas that are before the first book in the series. So I will be reading all 5 of them together, basically hopefully within the same 1 to 2 days span of time, and I will be doing a large bulk review for all 5 of them because it's going to be so much easier than recording 5 separate videos, and then that way I can see kind of whether or not these books work with this world, or they make things a little bit clearer, especially the prequel novellas. And it will lead me into going into another book that I will also be reading on my Kindle iPad thing, and that is Dangerous Creatures, which is the first spin-off novel from the Beautiful Creatures series. It's still the same world, but basically this one and the next book, Beautiful Deception, which I will be reading in, I think, October, is focusing around the characters Link and Ridley, who are kind of secondary characters in the Beautiful Creatures series. I'm very excited because these are books I have not read yet, and I heard so many good things about kind of how the spin-off duology went that I'm excited to see how Link and Ridley fare, because they are such a strange couple, and I just really cannot wait to see how they fare together. The next 2 books are audiobooks. One I'm currently working on is The Alchemist by Michael Scott. This is, I think, The Immortal Secrets of Nicholas Flamel, and I really like this book a lot. I'm almost done with it at this point. I think I've got a little more than an hour left of it, and it's really, really cool. I think that it's much newer than I had originally anticipated, though, because there's a lot of references to things that I didn't think would have been referenced in the time period I thought this book would have been published, because I thought that this series came out around the time I was in middle school, maybe early high school, but I could be completely wrong, or they're making references that I didn't realize were things that have been around since this time period, so I'd have to look up the year to make sure of this, but I'm really excited for it. I'm really liking it so far, and you guys will hear all my thoughts about it in my September wrap-up. The next audiobook that I will work on after finishing The Alchemist is going to be The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This is the first, and I believe, the trilogy of The Kiss of Deception, and I don't really know what the series name is called, so if you know that, please let me know down in the comments below. But this was a series that I heard some things about. I don't really hear it talked about much anymore, but I heard it was pretty decent, so we shall see how it goes. It was just available in my library and was the first audiobook that I could find that was new, so, or I guess new to be able to get, so I will be reading it because the audiobooks are my lifesaver when it comes to my driving around and walking around campus, because they're the best way for me to absorb books while I'm in school. And finally, the last book that I will be reading, more so just for shits and giggles and see if I actually get to it, is Three Willows by Amber Shares. I read the first book of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series and wasn't impressed by it, but I'm going to see if maybe this is any better, because this was like the one that she came out with after the Sisterhood series was done, and I remember vividly when this came out. I was in like the 6th grade, I think, and I heard so much about it, so I'm hoping that it's going to be good and better than the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but we shall see, and I really don't know if I'm going to get to this one or not. This is just kind of an other category, like maybe I'll get to it, we'll see. With the fact that I've already finished Empress Unveiled just as yesterday, and then I'm going to be reading the novellas for the Beautiful Creatures series here in the next couple days, I'll already be halfway through the list, so it's entirely possible I will be getting through all of these books, and I'm finishing up The Alchemist by probably tonight or tomorrow, so that's 7 books already done for the month, so we shall see. We'll see if this ends up happening, and you guys will hear all about it in my wrap-up at the end of the month. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. Let me know what you guys are planning to read in September down in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit the button down below and subscribe to become an ally in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!